Iran has issued a chilling warning to America. If the U.S. dares to attempt a ground invasion, Tehran warns not a single enemy soldier will leave alive. And the warning from Iran's army chief coming as the war continues to rapidly escalate. With the battlefield situation expanding by the hour, the situation in West Asia has reached a critical peak. Forces are fully mobilized.
میلیون ها انسان که امروز در خیابان ها میبینیم پرچم به دوش گرفتن میرسیدم و میشد دست تک تکش مردم ما و کشور ما در امنیت. میلیون ها انسان.
All of this, even as U.S. President Donald Trump, in that address earlier today, claimed that Iran's military strength has been severely degraded and the war is nearing its end. Tehran, in fact, is sending out a very different message through its firepower. Iran released fresh footage just a short while back, showing drones launched by its army, claiming to target advanced U.S. fighter jets at the airbase in Jordan. In fact, Iran launched a fresh barrage of missiles targeting Israel across central and northern parts of Israel. Warning of incoming missile attacks were issued. Sirens blared as a missile object was seen descending from the skies over Tel Aviv. Visuals from the impact sites showing thick clouds of smoke rising after rocket strikes in northern Israel. Israel says it successfully intercepted several incoming threats. But the tensions, of course, were not limited to Israel, because sirens were also triggered in Bahrain, home to the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, immediately after Trump's speech. In fact, just moments before Trump started speaking, explosions were also reported in Dubai, where air defense systems intercepted an Iranian missile barrage. According to the UAE Ministry of Defense, 19 ballistic missiles and 26 drones launched from Iran were engaged. The cost of the escalating war remaining high, estimates suggesting that the U.S. could be spending nearly $1 billion per day. Iran's military leadership is doubling down, meanwhile. The armed forces have vowed to crush retaliation against both the United States and Israel if attacks intensify. Listen to this.
As we have said before, we tell the American Zionist enemies, your information about our military capabilities, power, and equipment is incomplete. You know nothing of our vast and strategic capacities.
While a senior IRGC commander also warned the U.S. leadership that continued threats would basically amount to, quote-unquote, digging graves for their own troops. And his remarks coming in response to a recent social media post by the U.S. Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who threatened to send Iran back to the Stone Age. Trump, meanwhile, has made it clear that military options will further intensify. This is what he said.
Their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone. Their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary.
But on the ground, the war is far from over. Strikes continue across Iran. Massive explosions, towering smoke plumes have been reported from central Iran's city of Isfahan after a new wave of strikes. In fact, a highway bridge linking Iran's capital to the western city of Karaj has been hit by airstrikes. Reports pointing to several injured people. The bridge is reportedly the tallest in the region. Strikes in Tehran, meanwhile, also targeted the oldest public health and medical research center in Iran, causing extensive damage to the health facility there. The war in West Asia has led to nearly 5,000 fatalities. Over 35,000 people have been injured. With the rhetoric turning deadlier, the war escalating at full scale. Both sides are locked, loaded, unwilling to step back, as of now at least. Those are the numbers on your screen of the casualties. At a time of conflicts and wars and countries scrambling to upgrade their military might, India appears to be turning demand into opportunity. New Delhi is making it clear that it is no longer just a buyer when it comes to the global defense ecosystem. Rather, it is rapidly becoming a trusted and cost-efficient supplier. As per figures released by India's Ministry of Defense, defense exports have surged by more than 62%, reaching a record 38,424 crore rupees. That's around 4.11 billion US dollars in the 2025 to 26 financial year. Now that's a sharp jump of over 14,800 crore rupees, or 1.58 billion US dollars, as compared to last year's fiscal numbers. In a statement, in fact, India's Defense Ministry highlighted that both public and private players are driving this rise, with the defense public sector undertakings contributing to nearly 55% and the private sector close behind at 45%. As per the government, India is now exporting defense equipment to more than 80 countries, further noting that the number of exporters has climbed to 145 from 128 last year.
आज भारत जो कभी केवल वेपन्स के लिए दूसरे देशों पर निर्भर रहता था, इंपोर्ट के मामले में जाना जाता था, अब एक्सपोर्ट्स के मामले में भारत तेजी के साथ आगे बढ़ रहा है.
And according to the Indian government, India's export ordinance includes bulletproof jackets, aircraft, helicopters, interceptor boats, lightweight torpedoes, major buyers of Indian arms over the recent years, including countries like Armenia. That's a key buyer of full weapon systems like Akash and Pinaka. The United States sources critical aircraft components, while France imports electronics and software. The Philippines has also acquired the BrahMos missile system in landmark deals. According to SIPRI, India is the world's 5th largest military spender and the 2nd largest arms importer globally. And the rise in defense imports from India coming amid the rising global tensions, of course, all of which are pushing countries to modernize their militaries. And India is stepping in as a cost-efficient, reliable defense partner. And the message is quite clear. India is no longer just buying weapons, it's also selling military strength. Our next story is about the super rich. According to estimates by Oxfam, reportedly, the global super rich may have as much as $3.55 trillion hidden away from tax authorities. That's a whopping $3.55 trillion. The amount, just for context here, is roughly worth more than 3% of the global GDP. And that's just one part of the story here. There's more. According to Oxfam, the total wealth held offshore had increased significantly. The share of the secretive holdings hidden from tax authorities has reportedly come down quite a bit since the introduction in 2016 of a new system of automatic information exchange between jurisdictions. But Oxfam estimates that perhaps $3.55 trillion is still shielded from tax. And it has reiterated on the need for a wealth levy, calling on governments to close the tax loopholes. In fact, according to analysis by Oxfam, only 3% of the more than 1,000 tax recommendations made by the International Monetary Fund to governments in recent years focus on taxing wealth and income from wealth. Only 3%. The group has urged the IMF to fundamentally reform how tax policy is integrated into economic surveillance. Earlier in the year, an Oxfam report pointed out how billionaire wealth has jumped by over 16% in 2025, 3 times faster than the past 5-year average. It also highlighted billionaire wealth has increased by 81% since 2020 itself. This also comes in as 1 in 4 people don't even regularly have enough to eat, and nearly half the world's population living in poverty. According to the head of Oxfam International's Washington, D.C. office, as billionaire fortunes grow at extraordinary pace, the IMF's silence on taxing extreme wealth is increasingly untenable, saying that the fund is reinforcing a system in which ordinary people, already strangled by the rising prices, are basically forced to shoulder the brunt of the taxes, adding that vast concentrations of obscene wealth remain largely untaxed and that serious fiscal reform should start with those most able to contribute. And there is reason for serious concern here, given what the numbers are throwing up. Also important to point out here, earlier this year itself, Oxfam had said billionaire wealth surged at 3 times its recent pace last year to reach its highest level on record, thereby deepening economic and political divides that also threaten democratic stability.